Hello YouTube, how you doing? If you are subscribed to the Acronym newsletter, you have probably seen that the J100-FO just dropped. The mail was sent about an hour ago. I wanted to take a look at it and talk about it a bit. As you can see, most sizes are still available, which is not that surprising if we look at how big this jacket is. I think about a week ago, the J100-WS was released. We can take a look at that as well. That is still available in all sizes, but let's start with this one. So I think it's been quite a while since a jacket in the FO fabric was released by Acronym. It's a fabric that has been talked about quite a bit, because as far as I know, all the FO jackets up until now have been Mother's site exclusives and sold out very fast. So jackets like the J63 or the J46 that came in FO have been quite popular in resale because they are a bit rare. Actually, Matt, or Goon as he's called on the internet, did a pretty nice interview about the J63. As you can see here, you should definitely check that out if you want to know more about that jacket. I think Matt always did really great reviews, but also moved on to doing other things. So also I think he kind of stopped doing the Techwear thing altogether. Also something I want to talk about in a bit. One very much talked about supposedly FO jacket, or well, I know it is the J100-FO. As you can see here, worn by Errolson, that has actually never gone into production, but is a jacket that a lot of people would like to have. But I actually spoke to Errolson about this, and he told me that it's just not possible to make this jacket in this fabric because it was just way too expensive to cut it like that. And even considering like Acronym jackets are, I mean, the J100-FO is already like 2K. So if he says something is going to be way too expensive, that's going to really get up in the several Ks. So this is just a one-off that he made as an experiment, and that is sitting somewhere in the closet in the Acronym archives. So I believe the FO stands for film out, which means that it's just the gore-tex, like the membrane, which means there's no face fabric for protection. This does of course make it extra breathable because there's no layer that keeps heat in. As you can see here on the gore-tex site, it's the most breathable and light, has unique water repellency, and they also have a certain stretch ability. It's famously water hating, as it says here. It's pretty funny. The water just beads off. That's why it's called shake dry, because so you can just shake it off. And it says that the gore-tex active shake dry also has a stretch ability. I don't exactly know if that's true for all gore-tex shake dry. It's still very difficult to determine what kind of fabric exactly is used, because terms like, for instance, shake dry, but also like Windstopper, can actually be a few different kinds of fabrics. So it's always kind of difficult to exactly determine what is what. But if we look at the Acronym site, it says that this is shake dry, that is breathable, water repellent, but it also has the guarantee to keep you dry label, which means that it's actually, as you also can see here, hard shell waterproof. So it's supposed to be actually waterproof and not just water repellent, which sounds really great. I have been looking for a shake dry jacket for a while too, because I'm very interested in how this fabric would be and feel. At the same time, I know that I wear a backpack a lot, as in almost always, so shake dry and a backpack will probably not be a very great combination, as in that I will just ruin the jacket. It's not meant to take abrasion like that. I would probably actually not have very much use for wearing a shake dry jacket, as in it would not be very practical for me, because that would mean that I cannot use a bag, or it has to be under the jacket. And that might be why this jacket is also very huge, like you can see here. It's like really huge. huge, huge. So it's, I don't know if there are pictures of combinations with bags. No, just no bags. But I would think that you could actually wear this over a bag, seeing how baggy it is. Get it? But then again, the inside is probably just as fragile as the outside. So if the jacket would be rubbing over the backpack and your backpack had like sharp edges or whatever, it would probably poke a hole in it from the inside. So you shouldn't have bags. That's you just should have like a big pair of pants with a lot of pockets, and then put stuff in there, and then maybe carry a suitcase, or I don't know. No bags. Okay, this jacket does not tolerate bags. It does says ultra wide, fits over everything. So it has vents, like a really big vents, I guess, which are so big that you can actually put your arm through them. Yeah, the vents are actually just open always. There doesn't seem to be any closure in the vents. I think that is actually a nice feature. I think I would use that. I mean, it looks kind of different, let's call it that. But I think it's cool that you don't have to like roll up your sleeves to have a short sleeve version. I would think that maybe you could probably like tie the cuffs together behind your back. Tie as in use the Velcro to have the sleeves behind your back. I would think that would probably be a vibe. No, it's not demonstrated here. But I think that it might look really stupid. It might look like you have some weird cape. But to be honest, the whole jacket looks kind of weird to me. I personally don't really like it. Obviously, I can appreciate the tech, right, and everything, but I think this silhouette is just not cool. It's just a huge bag. Look at those sleeves. What is this? I mean, I know it's trendy right now, like everything is getting bigger and bigger. I personally think that like the baggy trend has its limits, and I think those limits are reached right now here. Yeah, there's not really anything about the aesthetic design of this jacket that I like. I mean, I like how the SHAKEDRY looks. It really looks like some kind of a leather type of fabric that is waterproof and super breathable and very light. That's why I actually do like how the 63 looks, and even the, I think it probably even looks best on the 46. That just like looks like a very cool like Asian gangster long leather jacket. I actually really like this one. Very Matrix also. This came out quite a while ago. I would actually appreciate this one. And I think think the J63 without the pockets is actually nicer. Oh, this is J67 also. FO. Leon wearing one. Looks good on Leon. What is this? Oh wait, that was called, oh yeah, that was the J63 PB. I think that was actually the same fabric though. Yeah, gore-tex film out. I don't know exactly why that was called PB. This is water resistant though, and a soft shell. So if you do know the difference, help me out here. Tell me in the comments below what the difference is between the PB and the FO, because to me it seems to be, both seems to be the film out SHAKEDRY, and it looks quite similar, but not exactly the same, but that could be because of the pictures. I actually really like the 63 PB without the pockets. It just looks cleaner, and it looks like a very futuristic hooded leather jacket. I actually really like this one. But back to the J100-FO. So it has most of the other usual features like the jacket sling and the speed lock and the tension zip, aux zip even. So I guess there's an aux zip on the inside, which means you can wear an insulator in it, which is nice because this is obviously a waterproof shell to be worn over other things. And it's probably not very warm because it's so thin and breathable. There's this huge like pocket on the chest that can be filled with stuff. I think the tension zip looks kind of cool. Okay. Wait. So you can. All right. So looking at the pictures here, you can see that. So this part of the pocket goes underneath this part of the jacket, as you can see here. And you can use these buttons to then have the flag pocket snap closed like that, and leave the zipper open, which is a nice feature that a lot of Acronym jackets have. Okay, so there's like a new thinner looking jacket sling. Looks a bit flimsy to me, if you ask me, with the shock cord at the end, but it might also be lighter, so that is probably nice. But the fact that the webbing is so much thinner now, it looks a bit like that might be less comfortable on your shoulder, I would think. Then again, the jacket is supposed to be really light, so it shouldn't have to cut in your shoulder or anything like that. Yeah, actually, there's not that much else to say about this jacket. If we look at the Windstopper version, this is a hard shell, also 2-layer Windstopper. Water resistant though, of course, because it's Windstopper. I personally think that the Windstopper version will probably be a bit more comfortable. Well, okay, not comfortable. I mean, this one will probably be more comfortable in the sense that it's softer and probably a little bit stretchy, and 356, 335. Okay, so actually the Windstopper version is actually lighter than the SHAKEDRY version. So, but I think I would be very uncomfortable with the fact that the SHAKEDRY is so fragile that I would be just too afraid to like scratch it somewhere, and the fact that I couldn't wear a backpack with it or any other bag, because if you wear an Acronym sling bag with it, it will rub on it just as much, I guess. This is just really a piece of fashion that to wear to a red carpet or something, I guess, and just look really baggy in it. And I think the Windstopper version would probably be a bit more practical to use in life. But also this one, just as the other one, just looks, okay, I'm just gonna say it looks ridiculous. I just don't like it. It looks like a big square, look like the really big shoulders and everything. Yeah, it's just, I mean, we've waited for quite a while to see the J100, and people have been like speculating about it. Like they kind of skipped the number, like the 100 number, and then just went on to make all these other jackets up until 118 even. No, 123 there is. I don't really know why they skipped that number first. Probably it was really difficult to finish this jacket because of the fabric or the construction, even though, I mean, I can imagine that the construction of this pocket is quite intricate. Okay, if we look at the back, there doesn't seem to be any seams on the back, which means that this is like one big panel. I can't see that well, but it looks like, I think there's also no seam on the shoulder, which would mean that like the two front panels are one piece of fabric combined with the back, which obviously is quite difficult to construct and cut, and is also very like material consuming, right? If you cut something from if you need such a big piece of the fabric to cut one jacket, that means that probably more pieces are left out and not used, which would also explain the price of this really quite expensive jacket. In the SHAKEDRY version as well as the Windstopper version, there's a seam here, so the back probably goes, so like these two chest pieces are one with the back. Or does this have? I think it is. I don't think, it's hard to see, but I think I do not see a seam on the shoulders. So that's actually the same as with the J28, something that a lot of people have never really noticed, which is actually something that I really liked about the J28, which also makes that quite expensive. This is still a jacket that is totally slept on. I unfortunately had to sell mine, which I'm quite sad about, but I couldn't really afford it anymore. And actually I kind of decided that I didn't want to spend so much money on something that's made of Gore-Tex Pro, because Gore-Tex Pro is just really prone to delaminate. And yeah, I just don't think it's worth it to pay so much money for something that is very likely to just destroy itself, as I have had with one of my other jackets, but actually the J100, but I'll talk about that in a different video. The construction of this jacket, as you can see here, is also without seams at the shoulders, which makes it just more waterproof, as in there's no seam that could leak or anything. So less seams on a waterproof jacket is actually really nice. And on the J28, also the whole shoulder part was the same piece of fabric, so there's no seams on the entire shoulder, which I thought is very cool, and as far as I know, a unique feature in Acronym jackets. So personally, I still think this is the best Acronym jacket, but okay, that's my opinion. Yeah, J100, I'm a pass. Also, to be honest, in the past few, maybe years already, I have kind of been losing a bit of interest in Acronym. I have actually sold quite a bit of my collection. I only still have one Acronym jacket, actually, like the J58. I sold almost all other jackets. Well, I have J65. I mean, I have J65 KM, but that's not really a jacket, in my opinion. It's more of a, say, body warmer, I guess. And I have the LA10, which is actually more of a jacket or shacket than the J65, but the only like actual jacket of the brand Acronym that I still have is the J58 Windstopper, which is a great insulator still. Really warm, really nice, and I love it. And I will probably be keeping that for quite a while. Yeah, I don't know if it's just that I'm not that interested anymore, or that the actual designs are starting to like decline or become less interesting as a whole. Like, tell me what you think. Do you think Acronym is still interesting, or have you just started looking into the brand? Because if we look at this year's spring season, there's barely anything here that I would actually like. I mean, a lot of things are obviously like reiterations, like J1W, J36. This thing also just looks terrible, I think. This really looks terrible. Like elephant legs. I actually kind of like this one, the J1WBE, because I do really like the E fabric. I think this is probably the only jacket that works with the spikes, because it also has the chrome zippers. So I think this one with the P38E with the zippers would be a very cool combination. I think that's kind of punk looking thing. And then last winter, I mean, this one is great. Also something, I think, also a piece that is super slept on, I think. Like, nobody bought this. I mean, it was quite expensive, but I personally really like it. I wear it a lot, actually. It works great I mean, it's like a sweater, it's warm, but it's also windproof, so you can go outside in it when it's windy, and it's also quite water repellent. So it also can function quite well as a jacket if it's like not too warm, but also not too cold either. And even though the Pertex Diamond Fuse is also a very thin fabric and shiny and maybe a little bit stretchy, well, not really. It looks kind of similar to FO, in my opinion, maybe a bit more shiny and even more leather-like. So even though it's very thin and super light, it's actually quite abrasion resistant. So you can actually just wear a bag over this and it will not be destroyed. I've worn it quite a bit, and it actually just still looks exactly like this. I've washed it. It says that if you wash it a few times that it might get less shiny. I haven't really noticed that. In my opinion, it just still looks like that. And I think it's great. And that was a relatively new design. But all this other stuff, I mean, it's just not that great. Like nothing is really that, I mean, this is great, but this is a reissue of, it's like a reiteration of something that has been there in the past. Like the P38 is probably the biggest thing that there has been since, to me, like since maybe 2018. I mean, I have a P32 DS now, which is actually really nice. I still have quite a few Acronym pants. I have the P32 DS, the P26S, this one, the green one, which is actually really nice. Okay, so but this is an old pant, and still have my P10 and P43. P43 is actually really nice. I mean, I don't wear it that much, but I got it for a great price, so that's not really a problem. I just wear it when it really rains, and then it's really great because it's like really waterproof. I mean, it's a bit of an unassuming pant. That's why I don't think a lot of people bought it or looked at it or talk about it. I mean, if you look at it like this, it kind of just looks like a ski pant, right? Which it kind of is, but the pocket placement is actually really nice because you can get into your pants you're wearing underneath it. I can wear my P32s or P10s inside it. I mean, I can also wear my P26 inside it, but that has metal zippers, so I try not to do that because I'm a bit afraid that the metal zippers might destroy the inside of these pants. And then on the front, there's like quite a lot of pockets. I still kind of need to do a review of these, so I'm gonna try to do that in the near future. Let me know if you are at all interested in this. Let me know if you're at all interested in Acronym reviews altogether still. Is this still live? Is anyone actually still watching my channel? Are you there? Let me know. I know I haven't been posting a lot lately. I posted a short film a few weeks ago that wasn't really watched that much, to be honest. So I kind of figured that maybe I let my channel die a bit. So if you still are there, do let me know if it even still makes sense for me to make more videos, because yeah, I would like to know. I mean, obviously I make these videos for fun, right? But I'm just wondering if anyone is even still really watching or even still interested in this brand, because on the one side, the brand's getting bigger, as in that it's available at so much more stores and locations, and which also makes it go on sale, so even more people can buy it at reduced prices. But at the same time, I do feel that the hype might be a bit gone about Acronym or like Techwear in general. So tell me, is Techwear still live? And if so, let me hear you, and maybe I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.